We are living, on average today, 34 years longer than our great-grandparents. That's an entire second adult lifetime that's been added to our lifespan. And yet, for the most part, our culture has not come to terms with what this means. We're still living with the old paradigm of age as an arch. You're born, you peak at midlife and decline into decrepitude. But many people today, philosophers, artists, doctors, scientists, are taking a new look at what I call the third act, the last 3 decades of life. They realize that this is actually a developmental stage of life with its own significance. How do we use this time? How do we live it successfully? A more appropriate metaphor for aging is a staircase, the upward ascension of the human spirit, bringing us into wisdom, wholeness, and authenticity. Now that I am actually smack dab in the middle of my own third act, I realize I've never been happier. The entire world operates on a universal law. Entropy, the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy means that everything in the world, everything is in a state of decline and decay, the arch. There's only one exception to this universal law, and that is the human spirit, which can continue to evolve upwards, the staircase. We're all born with spirit, all of us, but sometimes it gets tamped down beneath the challenges of life, violence, abuse, neglect. We can feel unfinished. Perhaps the task of the third act is to finish up the task of finishing ourselves. I realized third acts are important. This was my last act. How was I supposed to live it? What was I supposed to accomplish in this final act? And I realized that in order to know where I was going, I had to know where I'd been. And so I went back and I studied my first 2 acts. Perhaps the central purpose of the third act is to go back and to try, if appropriate, to change our relationship to the past. It's not having experiences that make us wise. It's reflecting on the experiences that we've had that makes us wise and that helps us become whole, brings wisdom and authenticity. Women start off whole, don't we? I mean, as girls, we're feisty. We are the subjects of our own lives. But very often, many if not most of us, when we hit puberty, we start worrying about fitting in and being popular. We become the subjects and objects of other people's lives. But now, in our third acts, it may be possible for us to circle back to where we started. If we can do that, it will not just be for ourselves. Older women are the largest demographic in the world. If we can go back and redefine ourselves and become whole, this will create a cultural shift in the world, and it will give an example to younger generations so that they can reconceive their own lifespan. Thank you very much.